Hello and welcome to Smartphone Videography course. My name is Johnson Olakoton, Unlimited JB. In this episode, I will show you 3 functions that controls light with respect to your video quality. Number 1 is shutter speed. Shutter speed determines how long light is permitted to reach your camera sensor. It is measured in a fraction of a second. You have 1/50, 1/60, 1/100, and so on. It is primarily concerned with the motion happening in a scene. The shutter speed is set at twice the frame rate. Remember in a previous video we talked about frame rate. So the shutter speed is set to twice the frame rate to achieve natural motion blur. For example, if you shoot at 30 frames per second, your shutter speed will be 60, which means that will be 1/60. That is 2 times 30 frame rate. So that will be 60. In addition, the quicker your shutter speed, that is, the higher the denominator, let's say 1/500, 1/1000, the darker your image. And then the slower the shutter, the brighter your image. Number 2 is aperture. This feature regulates the amount of light that enters into the camera sensor. It controls the depth of field or bokeh in your video. Most smartphone cameras, on the other hand, have fixed aperture setting, which means you cannot modify them. The only thing you can do is to adjust the point of focus. Number 3 is ISO. This feature regulates the sensitivity of your camera sensor to light. The higher the value, the brighter your footage. However, if you push the value too high, you can introduce video noise, which may impair video quality. To reduce this noise, you can shoot your video very close to the window, or you can use artificial light to visually illuminate your scene. So in photography and videography, these are the 3 functions that controls light. On my own smartphone camera, I have this pro feature that allows me to set my ISO, my shutter speed, and aperture manually. So if I go here, I could easily just change my shutter speed and change the value. You see, the higher the denominator, the darker the image, and the smaller the denominator, the brighter the image. So you see, could change the value, and then if you come to ISO right here, I bring it up here, and then I come to the shutter speed, I bring it down. So I could just come to this and choose what to focus on and what not to focus on. I know you may be wondering that you do not have this pro feature on your smartphone, and how do you go about that? So that is why I'll be showing you 2 ways to go around it. Number 1 is the click and drag method. When you open your native camera, you can go to your video and then you tap on your screen and draw downwards to reduce the ISO, or you go upward to increase the ISO. And again, if you want to lock your focus in place, your point of focus, you can just tap on this box and hold on it. It's going to place a lock right there to signify that you have locked your focus in place. The second method to manually control your shutter speed, ISO, and aperture is by using a third-party application. An example is Filmic Pro. Filmic Pro allows you to dial in all of these settings. You can go right here and change your focus and change your ISO as well as your shutter speed, and lock your shutter speed in place right there. So this third-party app does a good job in making you dial in your values as you wish. That concludes this episode. So before we go, just a quick recap. What did we discuss? We talked about the 3 functions that controls light in our camera. Number 1 is shutter speed. Number 2 is aperture, and number 3 is ISO. Bearing these parameters in mind will really help you in shooting a quality and professional looking video. Till we see in the next episode, bye.